This story took place approximately 15 years ago. My parents let me have two of my closest friends over and they set up a tent for us to camp in the backyard. My mom bought a bunch of snacks and my dad ordered us a pizza and drinks before they left to go out for dinner. We were so excited to be out in the tent and we dragged as much food as we could to the backyard and started eating and just chatting. We went over to our schedule of scary stories, s'mores, and whatever else we had planned for the night. We ate as much dinner as we could and then started sharing stories of our crushes and if we had enough courage to ask them to dance when school started the following year. I remember we were trying to set up a blanket and pillow as a fort inside the tent and we were unsuccessful. The whole time I felt like I heard something outside the tent though. I unzipped the screen, or the window as you call it, so I could look outside the side of the tent, but I didn't see anything. And then about 5 minutes later, my friends said that they thought they heard something too, and it sounded like something brushed against the tent. Now my friend Audrey looked out the open screened window and said, "I feel like I see something in black over there. Do you see it?" As soon as I looked, I saw this sort of white Nike symbol jump out to me very quickly. I couldn't help it, but I screamed, followed by my friends screaming, and we ran into the house. We went into the bathroom and just locked ourselves in there. We tried to be as quiet as possible, but then we heard footsteps and the bathroom door began to jiggle. We all screamed at the top of our lungs and Audrey was now on the phone with the police. While she was on the phone, we were still screaming and then I heard my mom telling us to come out of the bathroom. We slowly opened the door and my parents were standing there. Still on the phone with the police, my dad grabbed the phone and said, "I'm sorry, this is the father. I was just playing a joke on the girls during their sleepover." Being adults now, I'm surprised the cops didn't show up, but it is a small town and my dad knows everyone, so I'm sure he ended up talking to one of his friends and saying everything was all right. My friends and I were pretty angry at first, but my dad was a jokester and we got over it pretty quickly. He offered to get the fire started for us and help us with our s'mores. He played some light music and got the fire started for us in the backyard. He kept asking if there was anything else we needed at the store or inside, and I think he was feeling pretty guilty for actually scaring us so bad. We got tired pretty quickly and made our way to bed in the tents and just talked about anything and everything until we started dozing off and falling asleep one by one. I think I remember being the last one awake, wanting to make sure that my friends were comfortable and could fall asleep. I woke up suddenly though, to pitch dark and the sound of crickets. I felt like I heard something, but maybe it was just a dream when I woke up. I heard one of my friends snoring and breathing pretty heavily. I hadn't noticed it before, but I assumed that they must have been completely zonked out. As I tried to doze back off, the breathing and snoring became louder, so I sat up to see if I could see which friend it was coming from. As I sat up, I was at eye level with the window screen and felt like I was having flashbacks from earlier and saw something move. Then all of a sudden, I heard the zipper from the tent door open. I yell, "Dad, knock it off. Earlier was enough. I want my friends to actually want to come over again." He didn't say anything back, and my friends were starting to stir around now. Annoyed that my friends were now going to be woken up, I said, "Dad, get out of here, please." I can still hear the response in my head. A voice that was not my father's, and much deeper said, "How do you know it's me?" My whole body felt like it froze, but the only thing I could think to do was grab my friends' hands and pull them. I basically dragged them, and we all ran inside. I don't remember anyone else screaming or yelling. I think my friends were more confused than anything else. I went right into my parents' room and told my dad what had happened. He seemed to jump right out of bed and went outside. I could hear him yelling something, and then he came back in and got on the phone. He told my mom to stay inside with me and my friends, and he waited outside. We eventually saw flashing lights. He was outside with the police for about 20 minutes, if I had to guess, and came back inside and talked to my mom first and then to me and my friends. He told us that there was a guy that seemed to be causing problems in the neighborhood that night, and thankfully they did catch him and we were safe. He said he was so sorry for scaring us earlier and was happy everyone was okay. He asked my friends if they wanted to call their parents or go home. Aubrey was fine and she said that she wanted to stay, but May called her mom and just went home. Aubrey and I decided to take our little camping night to the living room, and my dad got us comfortable and made an impromptu pillow and blanket fort for us. There were only a few hours until morning and we got up early. My mom and dad made us breakfast and then asked if we wanted to have a pool day. And I remember that day being exactly what we needed to get our minds off the night before. I'm still friends with Audrey to this day, and I honestly don't think either of us have been camping since then. If you enjoyed this scary story, listen to thousands more, either over on the Let's Read YouTube channel or podcast.